Greetings of peace and welcome. Very good evening, morning, afternoon to one and all from Malaysia and from those who are from other parts of the world. We are indeed very happy to have you all join us today for this very special conversation with Ms. Josephine Yu, who has been in pharmaceutical care and an ex-pharmacist. She's proficient in her field in nutrition and diet therapy. A lovely mother and a lovely daughter herself. I have personally known Josephine from this year's Mother's Day celebration and loved her very honest and caring words with her mother, with so much love and beauty. I personally find her to be a very compassionate soul. And indeed today, it is my honor and fortune to share this lovely conversation with her. So to begin with, Sister Josephine, can you share with us about your background, your profession?
A very good evening to everyone. Thank you to Brahma Kumaris for having me here. Well, as what Sister Dimple has just mentioned, by training, by profession, I'm a pharmacist. And I have been in this line for the last 30 plus years. But I started out with a very, very idealistic point of view where I was thinking I could help people become well by using pharmaceuticals. But unfortunately, over the years, as I delve deeper into nutrition, into other aspects of our way of life, as to how we can become well, I realized that the mind, that means the emotional well-being, plays a very important role. I guess in that sense, it correlates with my spiritual seeking, which also happened to be keenly enrooted in me since I was a kid, is it? So
is that why you were interested in spirituality? You want to tell us a little bit more about that, sister?
I can remember very clearly, I started asking some very relevant questions, very important questions when I was at the age of 12 or 13. I asked my father, where did I come from? What is my purpose here as a human being? And why is there so many disparities, as well as where will I be, or where will I go, or what will happen to me when I die? But these are the questions that my dad couldn't really provide me with the answers, and I just kind of shelve it for the moment. And as soon as I got hold of books on power of positive thinking, and then I had friends who gave me books on Buddhism, and I started reading, and then that was the beginning of my wonderful journey.
Wow, yeah. So beautiful, really. You know, this is a question that I guess we all come across one time in our life or sometime in our life. This was a similar question. And it's so true that nobody can answer your questions. And, you know, anyway, so my next question to you is actually, how did you come in contact with the Brahma Kumaris?
Oh, how I got connected with Brahma Kumari is also something that really surprised me as well. One day when I went to the office, I always check my mail, okay, and I found a card from Brahma Kumaris and Soka Gakkai. They were co-hosting an event, and the facilitator happened to be Lee James. And as far as I know, Lee James is a coach, a professional coach. And this event was free for all. So when I got that invitation, I don't know who put that invitation into my letterbox, but later, many years later, I found out actually who. It was one of the BK sisters. And at that point, I was also keenly already seeking, because I was actually going through some very rough patch in my life at that time. So I just, without thinking too much, I just called up the organizer and I put my name down. And long story short, I ended up attending the first BK event at the Soka Gakkai Center in Johor Bahru.
So we must give the credit to Lee James, yeah? He's been the instrument for you to be here today. So how long actually have you been in the Brahma Kumaris, or rather, how long do you know the Brahma Kumaris?
I think should be more than 20 plus years already. More
20,
than 20 plus years.
20 plus years. That means this is like late 1990s, I would say.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wow. And was it then that you took your course, your 7-day course, or was it much later?
It was much later. It was much later when I got to know Brother Jyoti better. And then Brother Jyoti has a very kind way of actually, guiding each soul, along the path. So one day he just very gently nudged me into coming during the afternoons for the class. Yeah, the classes, yes.
So what is it that you like most about the teaching of Brahma Kumaris?
There are many salient features, okay, pertaining to the entire experience of Brahma Kumari, not just the teachings, but the whole atmosphere. What I particularly was drawn during the event at the Soka Gakkai was the warmth, the selflessness, and then the sense of belonging, and the sense of being welcome in that space. And of course, during that period, that event when I was there, I can only speak for my own self, my own experience. I felt that something shifted within me, and the overall calm and overall warmth, and the love, if I could use the word love, was very contagious, and it was just it's very, very enticing. You really want to know what is it that these sisters are, learning from BK, and you would want to have a taste of that as well.
So can I say a sense of belongingness, family, closeness, bonding? Yeah.
Yes. There's so many beautiful words. There's so many adjectives you can use to describe that feeling. But if I have to use the word in a nutshell, home.
Home. Beautiful. And I would like you to elaborate a little bit on how you actually benefited through this knowledge. Please share your experience with us, sister.
How I benefited. Okay. Like I said, that I was actually being challenged, and then I was asking a lot of questions about myself, actually, about why I was being challenged the way I was being challenged, and how can I find the way so that I can ride out these challenges, And I would call Brother Jyoti, and then Brother Jyoti would let me know what are the courses that were available, and then I would just go from one course, from one program to another. And in each program, I always find a piece of jigsaw puzzle that is missing in my spiritual blueprint. And I would fit that puzzle into that blueprint, and I would do my level best to put into practice in my day-to-day life what I have learned and heard from the programs. Things, there are many values and virtues that we can talk about, but one of which that I find very, very important and very crucial in my life was when I realized that I was 100% responsible for my life. That was my turning point.
Yeah. So beautifully said. We are responsible for ourselves, and how much we live in illusion ourselves. And Brahma Kumaris, the way it moves or kind of removes the mask, is so beautiful.
Yes, correct.
And yeah. And I understand that you also have visited our headquarters in Mount Abu.
Yes.
When was that?
I think that was in 2007, 2007, no, 2000, I think 2007, I think, yeah, 2007, yes. And that one wasn't my first, I mean, that was my first trip, but I was invited much earlier actually by Brother Judy on the second program that I went with Brother Muru, I think,
Brother Muru.
from Singapore. And I remember very clearly, Brother Judy, whom I have not met at that time, just came up to me and said that this is an invitation. So I looked at the invitation and I was very surprised. It was an invitation to Mount Abu. And I actually looked up at Brother Judy, whom I didn't know any better at that time. I just said that, what did I do to deserve this privilege? And Brother Judy just said that you are ready, you need to go to Mount Abu. But because of my work, I delayed it, I think, for 2 years. Then on the third time when Brother Judy invited me again, I just put everything down, made my arrangements, and I just left for Mount Abu. Yeah.
So persistence does pay, and God's children eventually finds the way home.
Yeah.
So would you love to share any memorable experience from that visit? What was your experience? Please do share with us, sister.
Of course, the creme de la creme is always the warmth and the love. And then the other thing was, I was amazed at how well the organization is being run. It's just functioning so seamlessly. Then and I noticed that the sisters were all very playful and very joyful. And Daddy Janki was my inspiration. I had the privilege of having to be in a company a few times when I was in Mount Abu. And when she guided us for the morning meditation, I was in awe and in admiration because she was always there before all of us. And she sat there so still, so solidly calm. It's without even just being calm and being quiet and being silent. That itself was actually very moving. Then of course there were other sisters who were there who guided us, and the space and the time, and then the brothers who played with lovely music brought us to Baba's Rock. We had meditation, sunrise meditation. So I really considered that to be my very special holy day. You know, it's a holy day that you come back recharged, and not one that drains you out. So essentially that was my view. Yes.
Beautiful experience. So you can say the family, the sisters brought you home. And actually, sister, I'm in awe of you because I have not met Dadi Janki personally myself. And you're so privileged. And yes, I indeed.
You know, on the last day, I think on the last day before we left, she wanted to see us again. And then we had an audience with her, and it was a private gathering. And then, of course, as usual, she was talking to us, you know, asking us how do we like the experience and everything. So, before that, I want to tell you the food in Mount Abu is lovely. Anything cooked with love, it tastes superb, all right? And then the sisters, I went to visit the sisters who were doing volunteer work in the kitchen. Everyone was smiling. I was like so impressed. I wanted them to take photos with me. I wanted to go back and show my family that, you know, when people volunteer and cook for the whole congregation, they do it with so much love. And then the food that we eat is being nourished in miraculous ways. So anyway, coming back to Dadi Janki. So it was a private small gathering. All of us, we were there. And we had this opportunity to take photo with her. When I was taking photo, I was in front of her and she was just right behind me. She just happened to be right behind me. And I noticed, you know what Dadi Janki did, you know? She was actually playing with my ponytail, because at that time I had a long ponytail. I was thinking to myself, oh, she's like a kid, you know, she's so cute, and she would just like twink and look at us, you know, when she waved goodbye to us. They say there's this childlike, I wouldn't say childish, but childlike innocence, you know, and that purity within her. Is it? Yeah, I was really amazed. Yeah.
Beautiful. You know, it's so like, that's the word I was looking for, childlike.
Yes,
The
correct.
maturity and
Yeah.
wow, she actually touched your hair. That's really,
I
that
was
puts
really
me in more
surprised.
awe.
We were
And the
supposed to
food, and you said that a simple food like that, simple vegetarian diet, can
Yes,
be so tasty and so beautiful.
yes.
Would anybody believe that? Do you think
It's
they
hard to
would
believe.
believe
I think
it?
it's hard to believe, you know. It's simple soup and but it's just so tasty. Yeah, so delicious. Yes.
Nice,
And very
beautiful.
nourishing, is it? Yeah.
Okay, sister. Now to come with the main topic, I think you know what is our theme of our topic for our conversation today.
Yeah.
We're talking about unity, respect, and love, right?
Yes.
URL, we call it in short.
Yes. You are
So
really.
this, yes, URL. This is our version of URL.
I think it's very appropriate, you know, because that's where we need to park ourselves. URL is like sort of like an address on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we need to park ourselves. Yes.
You see, so even the internet, you know, it just matches, you see, whatever we do. So, and this is a very special year for Malaysia because they have completed 40 years.
Yes, thank you.
40th year anniversary in Malaysia. And this is why we have invited our special guests, and you are one of our special guests.
I was
share
really
your
very
experience.
surprised.
It is our pleasure, sister. So I would love you to share more about these three words: unity, respect, love.
Love. Okay.
What does it mean to you?
Okay. Unity to me means that you have many components, and then this component function as one. So I'm sure all the brothers and sisters and all the audience who are here can relate to what I'm about to share, which is we are not an island. All of us are part of this existence. And this existence, which we call as life, this living cosmos, we are all interconnected. We may have different colors, we may be of different race, we may be of a different country, or we may even be of a different spiritual affiliation or spiritual traditions. But essentially, the common denominator is that we are all part of this living cosmos. And we are all, in fact, true to what do you call that? In reality, we are all brothers and sisters. We are all human beings who desire happiness and joy, and all the beautiful what do you call that, virtues and attributes that we aspire to acquire or to experience. So in a nutshell, one has become many. So there is this connection in diversity. So that is, to me, is unity, functioning as one living organism, one organic living organism. When we have this connection, not just to our brothers and sisters, to our human family, we even extend this connection, interconnectedness, to Mother Earth, Earth itself, soil itself, to the living environment, to nature itself. Because for all that sustain us, that have brought us comfort and conveniences, have come about because of the generosity of nature, of Mother Nature. And when we talk about Mother Nature, we cannot but also include our animal friends. And as a pharmacist, I would like to take this opportunity to bring this into the conversation, and that is, do you know in the soil, there are millions and millions of bacteria, even on our body itself. If I'm not wrong, there are 10 times more bacteria, no, 10 to the power of 7, sorry, 10 to the power of 7 of bacteria or these microorganisms in our body. That means, in other words, the living cosmos, where you have tiny microorganisms in the soil, in the air, even on our body, all right, in our gut, working harmoniously to enable this life to continue living. So for me, unity is this whole experience, is coming in touch with this whole experience, not just myself and my other brothers and sisters or my family or my friends. It's actually this entire ecosystem, this unity. And we are only beginning to understand how this ecosystem is actually strung together, how this intelligence works to enable life to be possible up to this point as we are speaking. And when we understand this, for me, you cannot but respect every part, every component of this living organism. And when we have respect, love is usually not very far away. So for me, unity, respect, and love are not separate qualities. They are words that will describe an experience that is whole, organic, complete, total. For me, it is that way. That is my experience for now. I may not have seen this maybe 20, 30 years back, but over the years, I've come to appreciate this deep connection in this web of life. And the wonderful thing that I appreciate for myself is that I know where I belong. This is where I belong, in this web of life. So it gives me this, it clears away a lot of my confusion. Yeah. Last time when I was so into my own self, my own career, my own business, starting out as a graduate, you know. But now, over the period of time, I slowly appreciated this sense of connectedness in this web of life. Yeah.
So beautifully said. So it's all connected.
Yes.
Unity,
respect,
and
love.
So it's like a one string.
Yeah.
You have unity, you get respect, and you have love. Now,
yeah.
you did share about this from your professional point of view.
Yes.
I would like you to share about URL from your personal point of view. In the sense, I understand you mentioned you went through certain challenges.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So
yes, during that period, right? Another realization that actually helped me get a better handle and ride out the storm was actually, you know, from the word unity itself, right? I came to appreciate that, like I said, every other human being wants to be happy. They want to be successful. They want all the beautiful things that life can offer. And when I took that in, okay, when I took that in, I realized that we could be running after these goals using the untruth way. And as a result, we may consciously or unconsciously cause hurt to another person. So when I was hurting because of my challenge, I turned it around by realizing that all the other person was trying to do was to be happy. But unfortunately, the method is lousy. Okay, the method is lousy, but the goal is fine. So the onus is still on me to work on myself so that I can actually heal from the situation or get both of us out from that situation. So coming back to I am responsible, that was where I did most of my work. That means whether I was in the right of way or the other person was in the right of way, the onus is still on me to make the situation good, better, transform, heal for everyone. So I diligently did that for many, many years. And after a couple of years, things just morphed spontaneously. One day, things just became good. You know,
Beautiful.
the
Beautiful.
challenges, the challenge was no longer there. And the two person, me and the other person, I was very surprised when the other person came to apologize to me. So it was like, it was totally unexpected. So that was what I was doing that all those time. Every time, whenever I had any encounter with that person, I would be the one to choose to be willing to be responsible.
So the key word here, I will say, is transformation.
Yes,
Transform.
yes. The willingness to put the effort to transform, not only for myself, but to transform for both. Transform for whoever that was, including my staff, including anyone for that matter. That means, in other words, wherever I am, if I have the chance to make things better, let me be the willing party to effect that change. I practice with that.
Lovely. So beautifully said. And sister, how would you now envision yourself in this role with Brahma Kumaris Malaysia? Let's talk about Brahma Kumaris Malaysia. How do you think, or how would you bring about harmony, unity in this society?
Okay.
What would you say to that?
Actually, I 2 years ago, okay, 2 years ago, I decided to tidy up my career and dedicate myself to my spiritual journey, because that was part of the plan in my plan. But exactly how I would serve the community, I didn't have, I only had a vague idea. And now that you're asking me this, I think in whatever capacity that I'm able to share or help, I would offer my best. I would do my best. Yes, I would do my best. Yeah. And anyway, I do not know, because I'm not a coach, I'm not a trainer, I'm not a motivator. All right.
You are definitely part of the BK family, sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when you called me for the event involving the youth, I was thinking that time I was down with COVID, so I said I couldn't make it. So I was, in my mind, I was already mentally telling myself, I said, oh, this is maybe, the opportunity knocking on my door, and then see Sister Dimple, how I can help her or work with her, and then do, in whatever capacity that I'm able to offer, I will just offer.
Actually, sister, you have not missed the best part is yet to come. A lot more wonderful programs are coming up. And actually, our next program is very ideal to both of us, because I realized you and I both have a lot of things in common, being a single parent. And that is actually the next program that's on mind for us. So it's so beautifully, everything is so picture perfect. I realize everything happens in such perfect timing.
Aren't you grateful that Grace has blessed us with these qualities, so that we are able to.
I am so grateful to BK, and when Brother Jyoti gave me this opportunity, told me that to do the conversation with you, and I realized it was because I knew you from Mother's Day, and the way you shared about your mother really impressed me. And for that, I would like to share a photo that I remembered about that event. Put it on the screen now. We can share it with all.
Oh, yeah. I remember
this photo. I think it's not shared. Tech team, we want to put it on screen, is it? Yeah. So
oh, yeah. Thank you.
You know, that crown looks so beautiful on you.
Oh,
And
thank
the way you
you.
spoke about your mother on that, you know, that was the first impression I got about you. And
Oh.
Josephine Yu, I didn't remember the name. Then when brother told me you have to interview Josephine Yu. And when I checked my phone and I said, oh, I do have your number. And then I realized I sent you the photo. And then I said, yes, I know. And, you know, it's so beautiful that you still so much connection, so much of love I saw with you and your
Yes.
mother.
Thanks to my mom. It's like I said, without her, I would not be here today. I would not be here. I would not have grown up. No one would have fed me. I would not be here today. Like I said, no one is perfect. All of us are doing our level best. And I would like to just share something that I discovered about myself. I I started out as a A-type person. That means all out, giving my best all the time. Then over the years, when I had been uh, sort of like had my fair share of hard knocks of life, right? I came to appreciate that life is not about being perfect by social standards. Neither is it about having a perfect life. It is about how I can offer the very best that I can at any moment, no matter what challenges that come my way. Because we can never decide what life is going to bring into our life path. But one thing that I know I can decide is how I am going to respond to that particular situation. And the spiritual knowledge and the spiritual strength that the spiritual muscle that we have trained ourselves with will come in very handy when we embrace and write or surmount or try to overcome whatever challenges that we have. I'm like I said, I was in the health line, right? For the last 20 years, I moved my focus of practice to preventive healthcare. I tried to get my patients to eat healthy, to adopt a healthier lifestyle, and I even went so far to actually offer them emotional counseling or emotional help and support. Because I know for a fact, science is showing it, that our emotions actually affect our health a lot. In fact, I dare say that 85% of our health challenges is actually due to our emotions.
I would
Emotions,
totally agree with that.
yeah.
Yes, sister, elaborate, continue, please.
Harvard has already shown that this is the reason, the main reason, the emotions. But you and I know our parents didn't know any better. They didn't teach us how to deal with our emotions, and so we use patchwork or whatever we could get our hands on in order to deal with our emotions. And whatever that we don't feel and we don't process away, it stays in the body.
Agreed, sister. It's so beautiful. And really, I see there's so much that you can do with BK, so much of potential, so much for us to do together. And sister, looking at the time, okay, I would just like you to tell me, I heard a beautiful story. You told me a very beautiful story when we were having a conversation.
Oh,
Do you remember that one?
yeah. Okay, now I
Do
can
you
get
want to share that?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can let the cat out. Okay.
Yes, please let the cat out of the bag.
Okay. So when I was working at my place, because my place is very near university, and then I had many PhD students who come to get advice from me, and then and over a period of 2 or 3 years, I was actually invited to talk on a few topics that they wanted me to share with them my experiences. So topics like how to eat well, how to manage the stress, and also how to deal with depression, anxiety, and whatnot. So when I looked at the topics, I realized that I can be sharing a lot of knowledge. And in fact, I even told the PhD students, I just said that actually, if you want to know how to eat well, right, you can just Google. You can go and look for Miss Google or Mr. Google, and they can give you a whole list, even more in depth than what I can share with you. But they say, yeah, but we still want to listen to your experience. Then I started to scratch my head, and I said that what is it that I can really share with them that could be impactful, that they can take away and really help them in the long run to change, to have that drive to change. And to me, the answer is to become meditative. To become meditative. That is our foundation. So because I have already benefited from my constant and regular meditation practice, so I know it works. So I decided to give them a talk on do nothing. So when I went there, I didn't want to use the word meditation because I was actually addressing a diverse crowd. So some people may not like the word meditation because they may associate it with a Chinese practice or some Buddhist practice. In actuality, you and I know that being meditative is actually something very natural. Something natural is our beingness, our state of beingness. So we have forgotten that. So when I started the talk on that night, with about stress, how stress came about, and then what we need to do. And then I said that we are so strung up because we are so geared towards doing, to the point that if you were to find yourself sitting on a chair and just looking at the moon or looking at the sky, you would say, I think I'm very unproductive. I think I better be doing something. But we're so geared towards that. And the PhD students are also saying that time is of the essence, that we have to be on the computer 24/7, drinking coffee all the time to keep themselves awake. Finally, I told them, your answer to your depression and your stress is actually very simple, I said. And it's only just 2 words: do nothing. Then some of them actually laughed and said, oh, that is very easy. Very easy. I think, why do nothing? Very easy. So I just said, okay, let's try. So I got them to experience for 5-10 minutes. I just guided them to a just simple breathing meditation. And then I said, can you give me your feedback, how you feel? So a lot of them said, not easy. After 2 minutes, I want to open my eyes already. Very noisy inside the head. So I just said, it's because of this noise, that is perpetually humming in the background, that you are leaking a lot of your energy. And that's one of the reasons why you are not calm enough, and you're tired when you are, and because you're tired, you have no energy, you cannot, productively write your thesis or work on your PhD. So I ended up being named Madam Do Nothing. So every time they come to my place, hello, Madam Do Nothing. Hello, Madam Do Nothing. Hello, Madam Do Nothing. So I just said that it took me a while, for myself to learn how to do nothing. And I told them, I said, there will come a point when you will realize there is a balance between doing nothing and being superbly productive.
Wow, lovely, lovely. I love that story, Madam Do Nothing. A nice word for meditation. And sister, you were mentioning about your meditation practice. I just want to ask you, you were mentioning about open-eyed meditation. In Raja Yoga, you applied or you learned open-eyed meditation, and you find that, can you share a little bit about that open-eyed meditation?
So prior to knowing about Brahma Kumaris, right, I was already meditating, and I was doing the Anapanasati, the breathing meditation as taught by my Buddhist teachers. Okay, and of course, when my eyes are closed and I'm quiet, I can get into very peaceful states relatively easy. And of course, we will enjoy the practice as we go along. But I realized that when I go out into the world and engage in the world, there's a lack. There's a discrepancy there, you see. So when I came to know about BK's open-eye meditation, right, I said, oh, I can train myself to become meditative with my eyes wide open. And I think that's very, very helpful, because I know for a fact that my formal practice and my day-to-day living are not two separate compartments. They are one seamless life process. I look at my formal practice as a pause, a pit stop on the continuum of life process. It's like where I get myself recharged. I tweak myself if I go haywire, and I stabilize myself. I get myself sorted out. I clean myself up. Then I go and engage with the world. So this is how I look at my practice. I mean, I cannot speak for other people, but this method that I've employed has been very helpful for me. Yeah.
So wonderful. So you totally believe in open-eyed meditation, and I believe BK, Brahma Kumaris, as you said, puts it in a nutshell. I know through my personal experience, I look at it as what you have been very experienced with different type of meditation. I used to believe yoga was only as what we believe was hatha yoga, exercise. And I used to think it was so difficult to do. But coming here in Raja Yoga meditation, I realized that, I mean, from my experience, I realized that put all the yogas together, I find this the king of all yogas.
That's why it's called Raja Yoga.
Raja Yoga.
Yeah, actually, I think someone went so far. I cannot remember who. Okay, but someone actually said that be still and know. Be still
Be
and
still?
be still and
Be
know.
still and know.
No,
Yes.
no. And this I know that it's. I mean, I can see it now in my work as well. It's so commonplace. People find it so difficult to be alone, to have solitude, and to be quiet. And this is actually something that we really need to, reintroduce into our lives. There's a balance between solitude and being in a community, and it is so refreshing.
Yes.
So for whatever that's worth, okay. When BK extended
Let me put this word to you. Do people ever ask you, are you lonely?
Oh, they do, yes.
And what is your response to that? Do you feel lonely?
Yeah, my response to that is that life is just so wonderful. There's so many things about life that I don't know, that keeps me engrossed in it. I have no time to be lonely. And there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Being alone, it's when you are full inside. Lonely is when you feel empty inside. Empty inside. And this is the basis why all of us are going all out to grab whatever that is outside that is actually pulling us out, thinking that whatever that's on the outside is going to fill us up. I've done that before as well. When I told you when I was challenged, right, I was actually encouraged by some of my well-intentioned friends, go shopping, go traveling, go buy things, go do this, go do that. So
Yes.
initially, I went along 1-2 times with them, and I find that, no, I'm back to square one. So this method doesn't work. I said, I need to find another method that works. So I went back to the traditional, the spiritual teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful, sister, talking to you. I tell you, I have so much of thanks and gratitude, and I hope everyone enjoyed this conversation as much as I think we did. So you shared with me such interesting stories, and the best part was the Madam Do Nothing.
Madam Do Nothing. Yeah, Madam Do
So
Nothing.
that was so good, and I personally love that story. And if you don't mind, is there any last words you want to share with us before we close up this conversation?
Okay, what I would like to share, I think that is very close to my heart, is that including for my children also. This is coming from a master, Shaolin master. He said that there are only 2 mistakes pertaining to self-mastery. One is not starting the journey, and another one is not finishing the journey. So I always try to nudge my children also to begin the process of becoming meditative, all right? But right now they are still very much vested in the mainstream, which is understandable. But hopefully one day, all right, they will actually expand themselves and include the practice of spirituality into their lives. And then the second point is actually meditation is not something that we do. It is something that happens to us when we let go. When we let be and let go.
So beautifully said. Let
Yeah,
go.
really something. Yeah, this is coming
Let
from my
go.
experience. Because when I started meditating, also the same thing. I want to be meditative. I want to be calm. I want to be quiet. Then I realized that all I had was just more stuff in my head. But the moment I settled back in life, I settled back. I relaxed. I settled back. It just happened. It just happened.
So
Yeah,
well said. Let go
yeah.
and let
Let be,
God
let be, let go. Yeah, let
and
be, let
let
go.
God.
Let God. Yeah, yeah,
Let
yeah.
him take charge.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only way I see that is really moving forward.
Let us draw from his inspiration. Let us draw
So
from
beautifully
his
said,
inspiration.
sister.
Yeah,
So
right.
beautifully said. It's so lovely. And I believe, sister, we have a lot more programs in BK and you will be with us a long way yet to come, especially with me. I need you more than anything else. So let's work. Let's rock JB Center. Let's make Brother Jyoti really happy. So
I'll do whatever I in what even in with my capacity lah. Okay.
thank you.
Whatever I can, yes.